All right, when I did my research for Connecticut, I never even thought of looking up famous writers in Connecticut because didn't think they had any. I knew Twain lives somewhere in Connecticut, and I was hoping he was, he lived somewhere near Hartford because I plan on going to Hartford. And, I was hoping, I got to see Twain House, for writers because he's Mark Twain. And, so that's all I thought of for writers in Connecticut. Well, I found out Harriet Beecher Stowe also lived in Connecticut, and she lived right outside of Hartford in what is today West Hartford. And she and her children lived here, and what you see. So when I didn't know Harriet Beecher Stowe lived here, and in Hartford, or West Hartford, but I was amazed. So I came, took the tour, and very early in my visit here, it was one of the first things I did when I found out she lived here, and I thought, oh, that's kind of nice. Now, walking away from that, I was talking to one of the tour guides who gave the tour of the Beecher Stowe house. And I said, she's there. She mentioned to me, she's there. Oh, by the way, have you seen the Twain house? I'm there. Oh, no, I'm dying to see it. I've heard so much about it. And, it's American literature. It's my forte. And I just, I can't wait to see it. I've heard so much about it. I'm a Twain, aficionado. And I said, one day I hope to visit the Twain house, certainly before I leave Hartford. I said, by the way, is the Twain house anywhere near here? I mean, is it possible that I can, see it somewhere? Do I need to take a train or a bus or something? Is it far from Hartford? She's there, no, it's right there. I said, you're kidding me. She's there, no. That's the Mark Twain house. Well, education. I said, I didn't know Mark Twain was like within shouting distance to Harriet Beecher Stowe. And she's there, yes, they were neighbors. So, in one fell swoop, on an afternoon, sometime about a month or two ago, I discovered that not only does Harriet Beecher Stowe lived in West Hartford, but also that she was neighbors to Mark Twain. And this is the house Mark Twain lived in until, I believe, 1909, 1912, maybe it was. That he died here, going out with Halley's Comet, just as he had come into the world some 80 years earlier. But this is the Twain house in West Hartford. All right. And I haven't taken the tour of this yet, but I am dying to. I've heard so much about it. And unfortunately, they don't allow video or stills. They don't even allow stills to be taken in the house. But from what I hear, it's worthy of pictures, So I'm really interested in taking that tour. So I was pretty surprised here in West Hartford. And let's see, where are we going? Let's go over here. And both of these houses are off a street here called Farmington Avenue. Now, being an American lit major, you might not have heard of Farmington Avenue as you might have heard of Sleepy Hollow in Concord or Main Street in Concord or something like that. But, you know, pretty fascinating street for those who have an interest in American literature, because down Farmington Avenue here on the left, a block or two over, is Hartford Life Insurance, the original Hartford Life Insurance building, where Harvard graduate, or was it Yale graduate, Wallace Stevens was CEO of the company. And they have a famous Wallace Stevens walk, famous American poet, down along that street that Hartford is on. And little seats along the way with phrases from some of his famous poems. Okay? Pretty cool. Now, down this road, on this side of Farmington Avenue, you go down 2 or 3 miles, you come to the birth home of Noah Webster, who basically single-handedly was the father of the American dictionary and the father of American spelling as opposed to English spelling. So all this is happening here on Farmington Avenue. Noah Webster House down there. Twain Beecher Stowe up there on the hill. And Wallace Stevens walking along here in West Hartford as he goes to work as an insurance salesman. And in the moonlight, writes poems. Oh my. West Hartford.